Well, hello there, Minecrafters! Thanks for coming by. I know it's been a long time since I put out any videos. I do apologize, but I have been working furiously on the new map. I'm very excited about it. I have gotten all your suggestions, and I will get to them, I promise. But for now, I'm putting most of my YouTube on hold while I work on this crazy monstrosity that I've got myself into. But I wanted to show you this awesome little invention that I think is gonna, almost, I don't want to say revolutionize, but it's an amazing little tool with redstone clocks that any map maker should use if you're dealing with player detection. Now, I cannot take credit for this. This is a design by my brilliant genius, amazing friend Jesper the End, creator of the code and a new map coming out. And it is a player-detected redstone clock. I had put a video up a couple of days ago, and I had to basically take it down right away because 1.6 broke broke the redstone on it. But actually, it was something else that broke on it. Anyway, it didn't work. But I've been talking a lot to Jesper about my new map, and he's giving me some awesome advice, and I wanted to show you this thing. So check this out here. It is a player-detected redstone clock. So no clock is running until I enter the green zone, and then that is the only clock running. The cool thing about this is we have no lag. Like, the only lag we have is the clock that we're running. Right out here, there's no clock detecting me, and when I get inside the green zone, that's the clock that's running. So if you're making a lot, like if you're an advanced map maker and you've got a lot of clocks and you're dealing with player detection, you know that causes a massive amount of lag. And in my map, I have a section that's going to use probably about 14 clocks, and I don't want to make constant clocks going on because I want to be nice to the computers out there. So this little thing is amazing. I want to show you how it's pretty simple, but I want to show you how cool it is. The other thing it can do is it doesn't even have to run clocks. You can run basically any command. Like over here, I'll show you another thing. Here's an idea you could do for sort of an escape map if you wanted to do traps or something. Warning, stay off my beautiful lawn! Well, I'm in creative. What's the worst that can happen? Now let's walk on the lawn and see what happens. Oh! Death by magic. No redstone clock detecting me. And the way that works is a spawner cube that is spawning an item and immediately despawns. So depending on where I'm standing, it activates some sort of redstone signal, but it is not redstone itself. So I think it's very cool, and I want to show you how to do it. Now, we are in 1.6.1, so it does work. Just came out today, 1.6.1. But you have to have Forge and NBT in-game edit to basically make this work. So we're going to go to 1.5.2 because I don't know that Forge will work in 1.6.1 yet because the new launcher, but I will meet you in 1.5.2 and we'll show you how to build this cool little thing. So we're here in 1.5.2. This is also the old launcher that's very important because as far as I know, Forge is not compatible with the new launcher. So you'll have to run 1.5.2 with Forge because you need NBTEdit in-game version. I will leave links to those in the description. I'm not going to show you how to install them. I'm sure you can find hundreds of videos on YouTube of how to install those programs, but I will leave the links. So we're going to start off by building a clock. Now, as far as I know, this is the easiest clock or smallest clock in Minecraft. All it is 3 redstone dust. You pop up the little front torch on the comparator, and you need some sort of a power source behind it turned on, and you can see it's flickering super fast. In fact, it's so fast if I hook up a torch over here, it's not even really sensing it. It's sensing it as kind of one signal. But if you're going to use that, you can make it blink like I did over there with a repeater on a couple ticks. One tick will make it burn out, but a couple ticks will make it blink. So in our case, the other thing you can do is you can also, I should explain, you can also bring the output on this side. Has to go on one of these sides. It can't go up here because of the way the comparator works with subtraction and comparing signals. So our one signal can be out here. You can put one over here, but you can put multiple items off the side there. and you won't have any problem. But in our case, we are using items from a spawner cube, so we're going to use a wooden pressure plate. That's really important because they're activated by entities that are dropping. Now I'm just going to give myself a command block. Now, if you don't want to do that, probably the easiest way is, if you're working by yourself, give at P, so the nearest player, 137. And 137 is the block ID for a command block, and let's just set that to say something. So let's say clock. And what's going to happen is when I step on this, you can see clock, or when an entity's falling on it, it will, if I just type something in here, you can see it's constantly saying clock. And then when it gets off, there's nothing. So that's where our entity's going to fall. Now, how we do that is with NBT in-game edit. First, what I want to do is just fly up here, somewhere around here, so we get some nice straight coordinates. And we want to set our spawn point. So if you do spawn point, now you're set kind of up in the air. And then all we have to do is kill ourselves. And we're going to drop straight down on that pressure plate. And what's going to happen is, if we don't move, we're going to have perfect coordinates. And what we want to do is NBTEdit, edit me, and that's going to bring up this little space here. This is the sort of, I don't know, cover page for NBTEdit, the in-game version. And if you don't know how to use this, I will kind of go slowly for you. It's, there's a lot of stuff. It's a really great tool for map makers. But all we need to do here is just click down on the root, and we need to find our position, which is way down here. Position, this tag here. If I open it up, you can see this is where we're standing. This is also where the pressure plate is. So we're just going to copy that. There we go. Copy, quit. And now we need to put our our monster spawner or item spawner somewhere. So let's put it way back here. Now, just to get an item spawner, we just need to give us one. So give, and then you can, whatever, type your name if you want. 52 is the block ID. And now I've got a pig spawner, which starts out as a pig spawner. So you can see the pig there, which won't spawn because we don't have grass. But we can change that to an item spawner. And how we do that is we look at it and you press NBT edit. And now you can see it's red. We are actually selecting it, and we are now going to edit this tile entity. So we press down the root, and here's where we got to change a few settings. So this first one here, the max nearby entities, we want to change that to 1. That means that in the world at one time, there's only going to be one item entity that thing can spawn, a maximum. The max spawn delay and the minimum spawn delay we want to have is 1. Very, very short time. That means that for every time that it can spawn, it's going to go as quickly as possible. Just a fraction of a second that it can constantly try and spawn. Now, our player required range here, this is how far we are away from the spawner cube to activate what it's going to spawn. So in our case here, I'm just going to put it as a very small range. I'm going to pick 3. But depending on what you want to use, you may want to do, a very large area. You're going to have to do some testing to see how far you are. But we'll do 3. So if 3 blocks from this cube is going to activate whatever it spawns. The spawn count we want to change to 1. And that means that it's only going to spawn 1 item at a time until that despawns. Now, down here we need to change the entity ID to an item, because we're not going to be spawning pigs. In fact, I think Minecraft apparently will crash if we use pig, but I want to change it to item. And then that's the settings on there. Now, the next thing we want to do is go back up to root, and we need to add a compound tag. Now, compound is in this list up very top. This may be smaller to see, but it's the second last one. Pop up, it says compound. We just add one on there, click it, press enter, and it brings up this. Now we get to create one called spawn data. Now, spawn data is very important that you have the case sensitive. So the S and the D is capitalized. We save that, and now we can add some variables to that. So the first one we can add is our coordinates. Remember, we copied our coordinates. We paste them in there, and we've got our position. So when this spawns, it's going to spawn into whatever that position is. Now, we can't spawn it into 62. That's the height. because that's where the pressure plate is. It's actually going to spawn inside the pressure plate. So we need to just make it very slightly higher, and the easiest way to do this is just 0.3. Now it's going to spawn on top of that pressure plate, just slightly on top of that pressure plate. So we've got that set, and then we need to go back up to spawn data, and we need to add a short tag. Now it's the second one in here. Click that, and we press enter, and we call this one age. This is also case sensitive, capital A. And age is how old that item is in the world of Minecraft. So after 5 minutes, an entity will despawn in Minecraft. So we're going to make this item despawn immediately, because we're going to make it as old as an item that is just a millisecond before it's going to despawn, and that's going to be 5999. We save that, and that's all you have to do there. You save that, and what's happening here, you see I'm within 3, and I'm spawning items over on that pressure plate, and you can see the clock. You can see the clock going constantly. I'm going to make it a little easier to see here. I'm going to do something a little fun here. I'm going to pick a piston, and let's do that, and then let's try sand. Okay, here we go. So you're going to see that go like crazy. Here we go, because those entities are constantly being despawned just a fraction of a second. So you can see it going like, that would have been awesome in those old sand generators. But anyway, you don't even have to do with a clock. You can do other things like whatever lands on there. So if we get rid of that comparator and we put a command block here, let's do something like this here, and we go say in range. So once we get in range here, you're going to see it's going to say in range. Here we go, and there we go. Now that's sort of a one-time thing because we're not using a clock, but if you wanted to activate a message without having to press a button, there's one use. The other thing we can do, like we did over here, if I can get down there without killing myself, hopefully. Okay, I'm going to just copy this. This is basically as good as immediate death in Minecraft. You can obviously kill yourself if you type kill, but you can't kill somebody else. So this here is the closest thing you can have. What it is it adds an effect to everybody on the map. The effect is number 7. I think it's is it damage or something? I can't remember what that one is. For 1 second of 100 points of damage. I think that one's maybe it's poison or something. Anyway, so you can see here now we have to be in something other than creative. But when I get close to here, I'm going to die because, yep, there we go. So that, you could use that in some sort of a trap map or adventure map if you wanted to, how don't go on my grass or I'll kill you. As soon as the player gets too close, death or whatever effect you want. No button activating, no pressure plate activating. Very cool little gizmo by Jesper the End, my brilliant mentor or something. But I'm using this quite a lot in my map because I've got about 14 clocks, I think, in the arena branch, and it's going to be very useful to stop the lag. Hope you enjoyed this video. I think it's going to be very, very useful for map makers. But until next time, enjoy your Minecrafting.